Yo,
This
is
crazy.
New levels, new levels. The whole crew's on that new level.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Millie here with another episode of Praçazul alongside with my co-hosts. Where my co-hosts at?
Here.
Keila, Gomes, and the boy Cobb Moss came from the back. Our guest today is a singer-songwriter, artist of the two critically and commercially acclaimed albums, Segredo Magico, Monteiro. Been in the game for over 2 decades now and still going strong. She has worked with legendary producers, KR Hits, Mark G, Johnny Fonseca, Beto Dias, you can name it, you can name it, you can name it. Her album, Segredo Magico, is arguably one of the best albums ever come out of America. I'm gonna talk my shit because I'm biased today. Here to talk about her passion for beauty, her passion for music, her future plans. We got the one, the only, Juceila Cardoso in the house today, y'all.
Hey.
What's going on, Ju?
Hey,
You're good? A long time. All right. But this is like the most requested interview that everybody always asks me, including my two co-hosts. Yeah, this is the first time that we have you here, Ju. So we actually want to get into everything from the past, everything from the present, everything from the future. We're going to cover everything. Let's start with the early days, you know. I mean, I can guess what happened to you, but you can tell the rest of the world as well.
Yes.
Where were you born and which Cape Verde islands do you represent? Let's do it.
Ooh.
All of them.
Guys, thank you so much for having me here. Like, you guys are doing an amazing job. I love this whole setup that you guys got going on, okay? Do you guys prefer if I speak in English the most or Creole or put it back and forth?
Yeah, I can do mix it up, whatever.
Okay,
Do
sounds
whatever.
good. Okay, so,
Francês?
okay, that's good too.
I know.
So I was born and raised in Santo Antão. My father's from Fogo. I was in Cape Verde, in Porto Novo specifically, Bairro, up to the age of 10, and then I came to USA.
How was like when you came here, right? Was the culture, like the shock, like coming from, Cape Verde to United States?
When I came to America for the first, well, it was my only time, and I stayed, but I didn't have no expectation. I was 10, so I didn't know what I was expecting. I didn't even know I was coming to America. Like, that's,
Okay.
I was just told that I was sent to Praia. I was like pretty much from Santo Antão, sent to São Vicente. There was someone taking care of that, and then from São Vicente, sent to Praia to stay with my tia. And then for like, I don't remember how long I was in Praia for, but it was a little while. And then I came to America.
Okay.
I didn't know what was happening. At 10 years old, you don't know what's going
True.
on. So it's like, so in my head, I'm thinking like I'm going to see my mom because my mom didn't live with me at the time. So when I arrived here, it was with my dad. So,
wow.
but it was still different because I wasn't raised with my dad. Like, so it was pretty much at the time that I was getting to really spend that time with my dad.
What did you study when you got here? Did you have a direction? You know, because a lot of people kind of have the same story that you had. Came at that around that age, 10 years old, came over here, not really any dreams or direction, really. How did you choose your direction?
Okay, so at 10 years old, I don't have no instruction, direction, or anything in life like that whatsoever at the time, but I was always I was very focused. Like, I don't know how, maybe it's because of my grandmother. She never let me go out of line. She was like, boom, 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 boom. I don't know, but hopefully that's why. But when I got here, my main thing was to understand people. I wanted to know what everybody was saying.
Oh.
So I learned English real quick. Like, I was passing, like, my friends that were American was failing English. I was passing English like A+, okay? And my teacher would be like, why is she learning and you're not doing better? You know, so I always wanted to learn. I think I wanted to understand people. I like to communicate. I like to be able to,
Have a conversation.
Yeah. So I think with me, like, it was always like, okay, how can I learn? What can I do? I need to make my father proud. Like, it was always like, So when I would go home and he would speak to me in English, I would know how to respond. He was always like, "Ah, você aprende direito." Like, yeah. I guess to answer your question, to like, how did I get that focus or that direction was, I wanted to make sure that I made my father proud. Like, he needs to know that I was learning something at school every single time I go to school. So maybe that, like, he plays a big part in my life.
Yeah, of course.
He was always like someone that, like, telebabu um bocadinho mais runho, mais runho, mais straight, but
like,
there's a reason. Tem pamodi, like, ele criou o diabo to succeed, you know?
Yeah, that's good.
So maybe, I guess in all of the answers, it's because of I wanted to impress my dad. I wanted to make him proud.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think you did.
Yeah, you did. Did you always dream of being a singer?
No.
No?
Nope. In all honesty, like, I think I surprised myself more than I surprised everybody else, because I was never that girl. Like, I was never that girl that was like, oh, I'm gonna dream to be a singer. It was never my dream. I was passionate about it, but I didn't know that I was good at it. And then there was a time that someone overheard me, like, just humming something, and they're like, oh, you can sing. But it wasn't like, it was like, oh, you can sing. It was just like, oh, you could carry a note, you know? And I think that's when I finally noticed that maybe there was something there, but I didn't really like, oh, I can sing. Like,
That was back in Cape Verde?
no.
No, that was here?
That was here. But so before here, I have uncles that, like, plays instrument in Santo Antão. I don't know if you guys remember, like, na back in the days, bota brincava na rua, tinha aquela hora que, like, tudo coisa era fechado, like, que tinha luz, que tinha TV, you know, que as coisas só... I come from that era, guys, like, I still come from that. So, at the time, we didn't have a lot. We didn't have those type of electronics that we do now. So, tu tinha que, like, cinta na corners, tu morava na frente, tu mora na frente do Inacol lá na Porto. So, shout out to my people from over there, Patrulhos de Porto Novo. So, tu tinha Inacol, tudo alguém também certo hora, like, se era 8 horas, tudo alguém te combina, a cinta na frente, esse também que é música, mas que tu foi tocatina. Yeah, aquela. So, desde menino, estava naquele environment de música, but que era, like, nunca actually sinta para cantar. É só tu bi, então de alguém te toca, and just loving, like, that culture, and that's how I kind of got into that music. I guess that vibe of music.
So do you remember your first experience as being on stage and singing?
I do. I actually do. It was in school.
In school?
I did a talent show.
Oh, okay.
I did a talent show. The shy little girl decided that she was going to do a talent show. And prior to that, I did take chorus in school because I was always curious about it. I just, you know, I had to find a way. So I did a talent show, and it was fun. And for some reason, I think I was probably 12. And I loved the feeling of being, like, of course, at first I'm, like, freaking out, like, I'm com medo que gotcha. But as soon as it started, it would be like something just became
Natural?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Made for the stage life.
Yeah, I think that's definitely, I got prepared for that. And then I started to really take chorus, and I really liked that. And my teacher recognized something in my vocals at that time. I wish I remembered my teacher's name now, because he always said, oh, you have a nice range. And I'm like, what? Like, I didn't know none of that. Like,
Did you ever sing in church?
No, but I've been asked before.
Oh,
too.
okay.
But I never did, because I felt like if I commit to that, that's kind of like, once you go church, like, I feel to me, like, once you go, like, that way, you kind of really have to dedicate yourself to that.
I actually want to ask you about the very classical, the very legendary Todo Mundo Canta that you went to.
Oh,
and
yeah, that was
everybody of course knows about it. Talk about your experience there, and talk about what led you there.
So I was raised in church. My grandmother, rest her soul, she used to take me to church every Sunday. So, and she actually was one of the reasons that she was always, like, pushing me to go to sing at church, because she was like, no, vai cantar. This dia eu tenho que bem ensaiar coisa, bem cantar com pianista and all that. So I had heard at church that they were doing this Todo Mundo Canta, but I missed it. Like, I had just missed it when I found out about it. So too late, I couldn't do it that year. Then the next year, I was like, oh, maybe that was the last year. You know, se fazer outra vez,
To try.
não tô na try, but yeah, whatever. You know, I'm just like, whatever. So, dia, agora por acaso, minha madrasta, Domingas, fez, Juceila, isso tem aquela coisa que eu queria fazer last time. And for really? Okay, então tu vai try. Vai try. And so, I signed up, and I was nervous. I've never sang in front of nobody, like, other than the fact that I did the talent show at school, but I was with other people, so, and then in chorus, I'm with other people. So now, here I am, not knowing nothing about singing. I just like music, right?
What song did you sing?
I sang Susana Lubrano.
Susanna?
Ooh,
Oh,
I did.
nice.
So I got to the tryout. They had a place that they had to try out in like a empty garage type of thing. It was like on Pleasant Street. And I knew all the guys that were playing there because, you know, my family's well known in Brockton. Este Salão Domingas, so tudo alguém conhece. So eles just costumam cordial lá, but ninguém, like, esperando para ensaiar, like, para try out para que todo mundo canta. So, chega lá, nós perguntamos, like, você joga algum, like, he thought I was just, because it's underneath a restaurant, so he thought I was lost or something. So I was like, no, I'm being ensaiar para aquele, I'm being try out para aquele, todo mundo canta. Boa.
Go do some hair, girl.
Yeah, I mean, I swear, like, okay, that's fine too. So, quando o Joaquim chega lá, ele falou assim, gente, Juceila, nós temos o nome de Juceila na lista. Eu falei, yeah, mas eu tenho o nome de Juceila, mas nunca pensa mais ele. So, like that. So, I think I got there, I was about to be the second to last. So, começa, almost that microphone, oh my gosh. Então, lembra aquele moment, like, I feel it right now, oh my God, like.
Aquele frio na barriga.
Oh my God, like, eu falei assim, Juceila, what are you doing? So then, and like literally, I'm feeling it right now. Like, então, lembra aquele momento, eu falei assim, yo, what was I thinking to do that? So, chega lá, eu falei assim, I'm gonna do it. I'm feature hoje, eu falei, razão de minha vida é boa. And then the guy was like, wait, what? But I obviously, I was like, wait, deixa eu fazer mais vez. Ele falou, no, you good. Eu falei assim, não, pera. Eu falei, okay, wait.
No, now I'm ready.
No, I really like calma. Eu falei assim, okay.
I didn't like my first take.
I was like, okay.
Gotta get it right.
Razão de minha vida é boa. Like that, right? And then the guy started to play a little bit like, acabou de chamar só.
Oh, that's nice.
Na solidão. Oh my gosh, I started to literally chill, like, because I was like, they're gonna kick me out of here. I probably sound like a cat right now. Like, that's exactly. The guys literally started slowly picking up. Like that, right? All of a sudden we're singing and they're like, you're in.
They say you win?
What?
They say you win?
They're like, you're in. They were just like,
Oh, you in? I thought you say you win.
oh, no, I'm in.
Yeah, you
I'm
win.
in. They're like, you don't have to do anymore.
What did you say?
I was like, wait, what? Like, are you joking? Are you kidding me? And I was like, that was it? Me gewoon ali tão nervosa, pensando tem que fazer monte de different type of vocals.
That's nice.
Okay. And they were so excited to see me sing throughout the whole process every time, and the guys just could not believe that I could sing. So there was a lot of people that tried out, and then I was one of the people that made the cut, like for the actual like 10 or whatever amount. And then you start, I think they started eliminating after a while, and I made the top 3, I made the top 5s. So then you have to go to the show. You have to actually go to do the show. I don't remember if it was top 5, but I know there was like more than.
What was the show?
It was at the theater in Boston. The one we just went to.
Strength Theater? Oh, okay, wow.
I was there.
Who else was there? Was there any other people that still sing?
Valdir, Rassi So, he was there.
Oh,
so,
well, okay.
Yeah, he was he loved modern and traditional music.
Yeah.
And at the time, that was the big thing because that particular type of Turma do Canto was traditional music. So that's how I was I was very like
nervous.
Not only nervous, but I was like, they're not gonna take me. I'm not singing a traditional song.
Yeah, I thought you were at a place.
Yeah, so I'm like, they're not gonna. And then because of the way it kind of went, they did let me do it. So then after that, I won 3rd place. So with that 3rd place, I won like a record deal contract.
Really?
Yeah, by the way, I never took my record deal. You guys owe me that.
Oh, really?
I like that.
So, and then that was it. So then I think the second time around, the third runner-ups had to come back the following year. Like we had to do something the following year, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I was the second runner-up that year. Guys, my dates are crazy, but it was like so long ago that if I have to think about it. But I think I was the second runner-up. Yeah, at that particular winning, you had to go on tour to like these festivals in Cape Verde. Tinha que fazer, que todo mundo canta na Cabo Verde. That comes with it. So I guess that's kind of where it started.
Oh, and you went?
I did. So I went. I got the chance to perform with Luis Moraes.
Oh wow, that's a classic.
At that moment, that's awesome. I got to meet some amazing singers that back then they were coming out, but they weren't like who they are now, like Mayra Andrade, beautiful. Like it was just so many amazing talent that I was like, I don't belong in here. Like, what am I doing?
I'm shivering.
No, I literally was like, what am I doing here? These people are like hardcore, traditional, like, oh my God, their vocals are like, woo. Like, so, you're questioning yourself, but then you get on stage and people like you.
Segredo Magico, I dare anybody out there to debate this on me, is one of the best albums that came out of America, like CV America, let me just say that, all right? I know in the time we had Timmy, we had Georgie, I always say Georgie, Gigi, sorry. Gigi.
Just a man.
We had, Stacy, all those other artists that came out, Isidora, all of them. But when you dropped Segredo Magico, I was in Cape Verde when I heard that, when the album came out, and it exploded over there. My question is, when you recorded the album, and when it was done, did you know that it was gonna be such a huge album?
Honestly, I'm gonna say I did not know, because at the time it was the type of music I was writing. That's not what I was hearing. It was more like fast, musically fast, like just little love stories, but not like heartfelt, real experience things. So I couldn't really. I didn't know, but I was hoping that it would touch somebody the way it made me feel when I wrote them. So I guess like all those emotions was bottled in for so long that it felt nice to say, let me put it down. Hopefully it makes me feel better when I release these things down. Mm-hmm. Hopefully it makes someone else feel that way. But no, I did not think or even imagine, even till today, the way people react to me or when they send me a message, I can't believe that it still has that impact on them. Like so no, I will say that's something I'm super proud of. If I don't ever, I said this actually before I even did my second album, if I don't have to ever sing again, if I don't have to do another album, I think I made myself proud with just doing that, because I had to fight for that album. I was nervous, I was scared. I was really, really scared.
How people was gonna react to it?
Yeah, like, like sometimes things can either go really, really, really good to the point that you're like, okay, now I'm really scared.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do next. Yeah.
But before I released it, like the Segredo Magico song, the Solidão song was one of the songs that I had to really fight to put on that album. I was walking away from that whole album because of that song.
Yeah, you were right.
Não, chegou ponto que, like, minha pai, naquele momento, minha pai, que era minha produtor, like, minha
manager.
So, thank you, papá, por tudo que lá. So, eu fico bocadinho com medo. So, ele bem fácil, que eu pode pôr solidão naquele álbum, uma tal pessoa, tal big producer, tal big promotor, fala-me que lá, que tá fazer sucesso naquele álbum.
Lies.
And it was wrong.
And I was like,
I hope he got fired.
I was like, se aquela música ali que eu pôr nesse álbum, que eu também sei fazer esse álbum.
Yeah.
I'm gonna release this album, because that was one. So, I mean, I'm sure you guys probably have some question about it, but that was one of the last songs I recorded, meaning like, it was probably one of the first songs I wrote for that album, but it was one of the last songs I was able to record.
It's a tough song.
Yeah, it's a tough song.
And I had to do it in one shot. It was like, whatever you guys hear, the rawness of it, that's it. You guys are not getting another shot. So
but that's a song that, like,
that's crazy.
Like, because I used to listen to that song way before I met you. like, I didn't even see the name. I didn't know who was singing. I just know the song, you know, because it comes on the CDs with a lot of different mixes. You know, and then, I mean, my mom, every Sunday, you know, the CD used to play. But that's a song that everybody asks you to sing. Like, if they see you on playing Cape Verdes, oh, Ju, can you sing that song? Or not really? Or do you have different ones?
I think I have a mix. Like that song it changed my music path for sure. Like it really did. But I think that album had a lot of like amazing songs that people connected to that it was easy for me to do a whole show. Like it wasn't like I could just go and do one song. So I'm not like being like crazy.
No. That's the truth.
No,
that's the truth. You know.
At the time, that's what it was. Like I could literally sing the whole album, and people really connected to it. And, but like that is a song that, till this day, people like, oh my gosh, like you don't know how much that song changed my life.
No, for sure.
Because that was the first thing I said. If I'm gonna do this album, I need to say it how I want to say it. I need to feel it because I need to perform these songs, and I can't fake it. I have to be real. And for a few times, like there was a couple of shows that every time I would start singing Solidão, there was emotions. Like
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And it's still there. Like it's not like something I can. I remember the moment I wrote this song. Like it's never gonna go away. It's like. It's forever with me as much as it's forever with you, like when you hear it, you know. So
even the video, like the video, you know, how it was back in the days, you know. How did you guys like came the idea, you know, walking on the beach?
The video has a whole story to it.
Oh yeah,
let's hear it.
I'm curious.
Okay, so you guys
we watched
know,
it, right?
like, you know, at that time,
beauty
wasn't really like a beauty thing. Like, we just wanted to make nice videos, and we wanted to put out videos. That was the thing.
Yes.
My dad had paid this guy. He came to Folk with us, and he happened to have an emergency. I had already like I was doing it by the beach, but I had more things to do. So what happened was the guy had to and eventually leave maybe like 2 days before he was scheduled to leave. And he called us. I'm probably no mercado, no supermercado, para fazer compra de comida para casa, está vestido em a green dress, nunca tenho cabelo, nunca tenho nada feito, right? Ele tinha minha pai falou, você tem que hoje, não tem que fazer ele hoje, não tô nada, tem que fazer coisa. This is me like in the car, papai, que você fazer? Não tem que fazer aquele vídeo right now para uma moça formal, tem que ir, que me fala assim, what?
That's crazy.
Não, imagina, amigo, nunca tenho cabelo feito, nunca tenho nenhum batom na beixa, nunca tenho que ter coisas para pôr. So, it's so interessante que tanto alguém gostaria que ele visse.
Yeah, exactly, because it's natural, you know? I think everything happens for a reason, though.
Mas eu fico a fazer tudo, mano, eu falei, like, nunca poder fazer outro dia. Like, aí ele falou, não, tem que fazer hoje, And I was like, you know what, just let's have fun with it. And, you know, like, vou fazer o que eu vou poder fazer naquele momento. And people loved it. And I was just like, me, every time I'm like, that's not how it was supposed to be.
Every time you look at it, you just kind of regret it a little bit.
I don't regret it because I feel like after a while you have to let things be. And I do believe in, like, there's a reason why that happened that way. It was meant to be that way. It wasn't meant to be this whole production.
Good. So those 3 songs, I'm saying it, but I don't know if those are the 3 main songs that everybody be asking whenever you do a show or attend an event. It would be Mas Mulher, Segredo Magico e Solidão, right? It's like those 3.
I think so, yeah.
3 all-time favorites.
Of mine or of anybody?
No, for the fans, I'll say fans. Yeah.
No, actually no. You know what song I'm always so surprised that people...
Tatuagem?
No.
No, Tatuagem is recent.
Listen.
It's a song you ain't know.
It's not.
Oh, it's not, okay.
It's not.
It's not. Do you understand how many times I get messages like, I love this song, or they send me, I'm singing this song, oh my God. It's not. I have never sang it live.
That's the one with Mark G, right?
Yeah. I have never sang it live, and people they request that song a lot.
What's your top?
What's my top favorite song?
Yeah.
Wow.
She's gonna say, I don't have one. It's probably
I do. Honestly, I do, because, how do I say this? Like, they all play something different in my life. They all have. I wrote these songs, you know, so they're my feelings. They're truly something I went through. The one that makes me happy is Segredo Magico.
Yes.
It just puts a different mindset in my
beat?
brain.
Who produced that?
KR.
That is dope.
Yeah,
you just started the music. You don't need to listen to it anymore. You'll be like,
yeah, I know,
excited about it.
So
it's a great song. Yeah,
with
for sure.
that's that, and then like for if I have to go like I guess like a song that I was proud of writing, 911.
Okay.
And then like Solidão would probably be like centuries of emotions from forever. Like that would be like I feel like everybody could relate to that song anytime, anywhere. Like if you listen to it right now, if someone is going through that same emotion that I'm going through at that time, and it's been like what, forever. I was 17 when I wrote that song, but you know what I mean, like
in contemporâneo.
yes, that's it. Yeah.
Nice.
So if I have to
Timeless.
split it up, that's what I would say.
Nice.
Timeless. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just mentioned KR Hits. Claudio Ramos, aka KR Hits.
Keep giving him shout outs.
The reason I want to point him out is because he's the one that basically produced both your albums, like all of it. How was it working with him, and why did you choose to do that? Like with just one producer, work with just one producer on your album?
Okay, so when I'm on, like, back in the days when I was writing, like, I was writing a lot, guys. When I say I was writing, I didn't do a lot. Like, I didn't go out a lot. I didn't,
Because you wrote everything on both albums, right?
I wrote everything, and believe it or not, like, I think, Claudio, I made it easy for you, okay? You know. Like, I always came out with these crazy ideas, and Claudio always was like, Juceila, how in the world are you coming up with these ideas? Like, how, like, Segredo Magico, like, when I told him, no, it has to, like, I'm very much involved in every single process of that, like, from the moment that I'm writing it, the way I write, sing in my songs. Like, I create my melody. So when I go into the studio, it's not like I have the sheets of music and you have to figure out how to make this song. I wanted to really stay with someone that my mind, like, I could literally say what I was. It's hard to explain something that you have in your head. Like, as a creative person, we can literally go from here to like this, right? But to find that person to match that with you is hard. I feel like me and Claudio connected the moment we first hit the first notes in I think it was Segredo Magico. I was like, this is the guy. Like, he feels my feeling in this music. And don't get me wrong, at the time too, I didn't have a lot of time to be exploring who was out there doing music. I just knew him. And you know what's so crazy? He lived 2 blocks from my house at the time. I had this amazing producer down, like, literally, like, my house was right here. He was like 4 houses down.
Wow.
I did not, like, that's how crazy that was.
So when did you actually find him out? Like,
so my dad looked for him because he was working with the guy that I won the talent show with, that I was supposed to do the record deal with at the time.
okay.
The one that never happened.
I didn't, well, there was a lot of restriction that I didn't want to do it, and, you know, they want you to do certain songs, and so I wanted to do my thing. So, yeah, and then my dad just took the leap of faith and invested in me. So I'm forever grateful. So he was working with that guy at the time. So my dad reached out to that guy, and he was like, oh, Cloud is really good. Like, if you're going to do something, do with Claudio. And I had never, like, I don't remember ever really hearing about Claudio at the time.
I don't think he was tested as much. I think the artists and the musicians knew how good he was.
Yeah.
But he had never really, I think, like, when it came to Segredo Magico, that was his first project that he really took on. That's what I think. When he comes here, I'm going to hold him hostage. When he comes here, I'll ask him about it. But until then, that is fact. All right?
So I think we matched each other's art vibe.
Energy.
Like, energy, too, because, like, we wouldn't spend so much time together. Like, we have to, like, bounce off ideas. Sometimes I will go in there with some crazy ideas that I'll be like, Juceila, like, but he would pick it up. Like, he would really pick it up. We would do a few rounds of that, and I would go home sometimes very hoarse, and the neighbor voice, but, like, I had to get it. I was, like, on a mission. Like, if you guys met me back in the days, even though, like I said in the beginning, I didn't have this dream to be a singer. I didn't. But when I started, I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this my way, in the right way. And that's what it really became.
That's really
but yeah, Claudio is amazing. Like, I'll always be so grateful for that man. Like, he saw me, like, he saw my art, and he, like, the way he complimented my music. You got to think about it. Before you record an album, nobody hears your music. you're only in this room by yourself with this person.
Yeah.
Or maybe some other people sometimes. But this person believed in me. Like, he saw my talent before anybody heard my music. And he was just like, you're going to change the game. He really called that. He really did.
That's good.
Nice. Yeah. Let's talk about your relationship with your father as being your manager as well. How did that work out? And how was it to figure everything out together? Like,
one thing I told him always, I wanted to be in charge of the art part of it. Like, he had to pay. You know, I'm a broke artist. So I can make you rich, but we work together. So I told him this. I know you love music too. I mean, some kind of music. But I had to tell him, like, if we're gonna do this, you really have to trust me. Like, I don't know how you're gonna trust me, but you really have to, like, let me follow these instincts that I have in my heart. And once I convinced him, and it was like smooth sailing from there. It was just like that last ending of that song that I had to decide that was a little tough. But then he agreed, and he was like, "I'm gonna let you do it. Like, we're gonna do it." I was like, "Yeah, that we agreed that we're gonna do it my way, right?" Like, that's. It was hard because there was times that I was younger, you know. He couldn't go with me certain places, and I wouldn't be able to take a show because I'm not gonna go to Angola by myself at 18 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's hard, you know. And I was invited so many times to Angola. I'll be back. I'll be there soon. I promise. Like, the next invite, I'll be there. Yeah. Got you guys. So he was involved as much as I was, but like in a different way. Yeah. So it was a good balance at the time, but it was hard when it came to like certain places that he couldn't take me or that I couldn't go, and he had to be the one to be contacted at the time because I wasn't old enough to be, you know, dealing with all these people. It's a lot. Like at a young
especially back in the days.
And as a girl, like I was a girl, a little young girl at the time. I was a baby, you know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But
that's why I was gonna ask you, like, you know, how was, you know, to be a woman in the Capeverdean industry? Because I know we have asked so many female artists, and it's always the same question. I mean, answer. Yeah. So, what's your take on it?
To be honest, like I have to say, I never went with it with any expectations. I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know anything about music behind the scene. I had no idea. But then you do learn. You learn that in order for you to let's say ask for more money, you have to be a certain standard. Like you have to have standards, right? So I don't know how everybody else's experience been. Yes, I've had some experience that, you know, kind of pushed me away a little bit from music, from like not music itself, but like the Capeverdean, like to deal with like the shows and the promoters and all that. Like there was time, like for me as an artist, as a woman, let me say that, I think we want to prove that we can do it. So when you are trying to do something a certain way and it's kind of like cut in half because you have a man telling you like, you know, we can't do it this way because we don't have this and this and that, then it kind of sets you back a little bit. And it's like, okay, when am I ever going to be able to do it the 100% way that I want to do it? You know, or why can't it be like equally divided into the pay that I want, or whatever the case may be, you know? So as far as that, like there's so much that goes into it that I think that behind the scenes, we all have our own experience. But the experience that I've had, I think we all kind of share the same common thing, is that sometimes they do try to take advantage of us. Like, meaning like, there was times I was doing like, I did so many free stuff with promises of something coming back. Like, I will do, you do this free show and then I'll do your show. I'm still waiting for those shows.
Never happened. Yeah.
So I started to kind of like, so que homem que está fazer que show coisa, não está fazer a mesma coisa com nós, cima nós, like, nós prometemos que free show and then nós fazer, you know what I mean? So I don't know about everybody, but like I've been in that situation where I've been.
Have you have that conversation with another female, like female artist? Like
there's been times, like with like whenever we're talking about like why some of them don't go deeper, especially here in America, deeper into it. There's more things to it. Like it's not a career that we choose to do because we have to work and pay bills.
Of course.
You know, it's not like it's your only job. Like you can make it your only job, but you're gonna have to sacrifice and struggle a lot.
Yeah.
You do. You have to struggle a lot because it's not cheap to make any. Back then it wasn't cheap. Never mind now.
Yeah, because you gotta pay the studio. You gotta pay all that stuff. Yeah.
And back then we had to literally physically try to get that song in everybody's hand. Now you don't do that anymore. You have social media.
Yeah, just
like it's
post
the
it.
easiest way to be famous and popular now than back then. But I think there was something organic about it back then too that we will never have right now.
Yeah.
We'll never have that.
Yeah, it's different. It's different.
A
For
different
sure.
time,
We've gone back and forth about promoters.
Yeah.
And even though I mess with a lot of promoters out here, and I think that a lot of them do a better job, I still feel all these guys need to do much better.
I don't.
Yeah, they need to do much better. Because I just don't get, like promoters, can y'all please, I'm gonna take 1 second out of this interview just to say it. Can y'all please stop putting 20 people on the flyer and paying them little money? Put 3, 4 people, or pick 3 great artists and put them on the flyer, pay them their money, because it costs a lot of money to get, especially women, to put women on stage. Like to put a woman on stage, it's $200 a dress.
Makeup.
Makeup, pedicure, manicure. They got to take time off of work. They got to take the whole day off on that day. If we're doing like bigger shows, they have to take 2 days off from work. And then you come in with a bag like, here's whatever money.
Transportation, all that stuff.
It doesn't make no sense. Stop doing that. You're not helping your local artists because it costs them $20,000 to record an album and shoot videos for that album. Yeah. And your little under $1,000 is not helping them. Because with the local artists, they think that they're helping. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, I want to support you. I always invite you. And then when you look at the money, like, it doesn't make any sense. And I get it because you're trying to make money, trying to bring the other artists in. But then you look at the flyer and there's like 7 people.
Yeah, some of them don't even fit.
Juceila's there? Oh, yeah, there's that little picture. Like, it doesn't make, and I'm not saying that because it's Juceila, Isidora, Vargas, all these guys. Give them a 30-minute set. Let them get on stage. Let them put on a show and not give them 2, 3 songs. And then cut off 1 song because they don't have time. Like, it doesn't make no sense.
One of the big reasons why I kind of started getting like really frustrated that I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna get mad at the music itself because I love music. I'm gonna stop. Like, I'm just not gonna do it anymore because as an artist, the best thing that we can give our fans is our presence on stage. When I go to see a person live, performing, because I'm also a consumer. I'm somebody that also will buy a ticket to go see someone perform, right? So I think about that, like, I want to see that person. Like, even if it's like a 15 minutes, I'm happier than just seeing that person 1, 2, 3 minutes. A song could be like 5 minutes, okay? It's about 5 minutes tops. If you do a little talking in there, 7 minutes. Yeah. Most of the time I was doing show guys. Like, they would get me on the shows and then there would be people out. I mean, granted, people do show up late sometimes for shows, but if you know that you have a certain artist that's coming and people are really like looking forward to seeing that person, I'm not saying that I'm better than the other person coming. It's not what I'm saying. But like, at least give me a 30-minute slot that I can, if that person is coming 5 minutes late, they can still find me on stage. You know, I want to be able to share that song. I really, really want to be on stage. Yeah. Like, I don't know what it is about like an artist, but we really crave that. Yeah. And that's something that when we're in the studio, we're in the dark. Okay, we're in the dark. We're recording, we're all in our pajamas, recording crazy stuff, and we're doing all kind of blah blah. And we want you guys to see it, to see it live, and to like really like feel like this is how we connect with them. You know, like, so for me, one of the main reasons why I don't do a lot of shows anymore is because I'm done doing 2 songs. Yeah. I'm done. By the time I'm doing 2 songs, by the time I'm done doing my second song, that's when I'm getting into the vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
The first song
just a warm up, yeah.
The second song is like, okay, I think I'm feeling it right now. Like, okay, let me take my jacket off, right? The third song is when you're really like, let's bring it on. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you don't even have time to do that. I get invited often, and I promise you guys I'm coming to do more stuff for you guys because I owe you guys that, and I really owe that for myself and to just share a moment. But when I do it, and do it in the capacity that I've always envisioned in my head, I promise you guys will both fall in love all over again. Like, that's something I really hope that I can bring this year. Maybe
you will.
Praçazul might be the sponsor, you know?
Hey.
Look at that. All right, send tickets. Real quick about your second album, Mas Mulher. Now, you featured Beto Diaz on that album. You featured with Johnny Fonseca on that album. KR Hits came back and did another great freaking job on that album. But that album didn't have the success of a Segredo Magico, and there are reasons for that. Why? What happened there?
So at the time, when I recorded that album, I actually was going through a very personal, I guess, like challenge too, because I was planning to move. I did move. I came back to finish the album. And then I was kind of breaking up with my dad at the time, with management wise. I felt that it got to a point that I didn't really get all the stuff that I wanted from, a manager is supposed to give. And granted, he gave me the possibility to do these albums, because it's a lot of money and stuff, but like I wanted him to like do more, like to get me shows, because that's what you're supposed to do, but he wasn't able to do that. So it kind of started to die down a little bit for me, because I was like, well, if I can't get myself show, like he can't get me show, what am I supposed to do? So I didn't have that extra push to be like, no, keep going. Like, keep
but
doing
did you expected that because it was your manager and also your dad, or
No,
just because?
As a manager, he had a fee from whatever show I did. So regardless of how it went, it was still a business at the end of the day. But we were having conflicts of like interest, me and him. And it became personal. And then it became like, okay, so fine, I'm not gonna go do this show then, because you're not even trying to charge me what I think I deserve. Like, you know what I mean? So it just became a little personal. So I was like, you know what? I don't think I want to do personal things with my family anymore. Like things that's gonna cause these rifts.
They do say that it's hard to do business with your family.
Yeah,
They do say that.
It is. It gets hard. Because the thing is, you can make money, but you have to work to make that money. You have to like really be calling people to like, you can just get me a show whenever they call you. That's not you getting me a show. They got me that show. But why are you not calling these, festivals? Like all of these things. Like I was always like, why? Papa, like, let's do it. Like,
Did you ever thought about getting a different manager?
I did, but at the time, listen, when you go from being with a family, working with a family member, especially like your father, you trust them, so to go to just random people that have the money to do the stuff, but then they want to like play you a little bit.
Yeah, I see.
And I was still young, I'm not like a baby at that time anymore, but like I'm still young, I'm still learning myself, but I knew what I didn't want. And I didn't want to be like thrown around like, I had people ask me from left to right to do my albums, to pay for my albums. But then, they want to pay for the albums, but then what, you're getting like 5%, not even 5% of that money? Like, it doesn't make sense.
What's the most important lesson you have learned throughout your career, musical career?
Stand your ground. Like, actually, really, if you believe that you can, like, if you think the song is what is going to make my career in the music industry, do that song. Do what feels right for you. Follow your guts. Like really, really, like if you're someone that's like questioning something about, okay, maybe I should sing better or I should sound better. Take vocal lessons. Like do better. Like get things. If you want to play an instrument, if you want to be prepared to like bring it to a producer so they don't charge an arm and a leg, because it's all timing, Maybe learn how to play the piano. Take the simplest notes that you can. So I think really investing in what you want. Like if you want to be a writer, write a lot. Like write every day. Write your thoughts down. Write it doesn't come with a melody. Write it. Like just write it. And eventually, like, because I used to have napkins, little lyrics on it. It would just come to me. I would like record. Like sometimes I would be driving and I would have an idea. I'd be like, oh shoot, I gotta put it down right now on the vocals. Like. So just take the time to invest in yourself and do better. Learn to make yourself proud. At the end of the day, like you have to make yourself proud. Like I can listen to Segredo Magico album right now, and I'm like, damn, how did I do that? And that's what I want for everybody to think. Like I want to be proud instead of not doing it. Do something that makes you feel proud. Take the time, invest in that time. If you're not invested, you're not going to do better.
So, question, do you have a method of writing? Like, do you need to be in this element? Do you need to be by yourself?
Unless I'm writing for a specific thing, I've written 5 songs in one day.
Okay.
Then I've written none for months.
Yeah.
It's like if you're a painter, some days you're going to paint right. Something that you love, some days you're not.
Inspiration.
Yeah, but what I've noticed with me, like even if it's something like there's 3 songs that I started working on 1 year, I finished those songs like 3 years later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that happens.
I had pieces. They connected, but then one day, like I have a piece. I'll have like let's say I'll have the chorus, but I won't have the ending for that song or whatever, right? Or I'll have the intro and I won't have the chorus. And then one day randomly it would just come to me.
So I know some people like they like to write at nighttime with like, you know, whatever, with some candles or whatever, you know. Some people like to write on the phone when they go on the way to work.
I think like if I was that kind of artist, it would be too
forced.
Maybe not really forced, but I think it wouldn't be as organic for me. Because I'm trying to say what other people want me to say. Like if Cloudy calls me right now and tells me, Juceila, I have a beat, I think that you might have the right vocal for this beat. So then I'll go in there and say, do you have a chorus for this? Like, what's the story about? Like, or should I, you know, like, what do you want it to sound like? What is this?
A little background.
This element of this song. Then I can say, okay, Claudia, like, I might not even have the song, like, let's say at the moment, but I'm like, let me write on it, or let me go home and see if I have lyrics already that fits this. Because sometimes that does happen.
Yeah, of course.
You do have songs that fits into that particular.
It could be songs from 10 years ago, you know?
It was like that.
Oh yeah?
I was writing a song for Mas Mulher. No, it's not supposed to be Mas Mulher. And they sent me this beat, they hired me, contracted me and all that, and it fit. And I was like, oh, shoot, that fit.
That's
like,
perfect, yeah.
Yeah, so not everything fit. The only thing about, like, let me say, the only thing about Notke, I wish I could be more proud of that song. Not to say that I'm not. I love all my songs because they come from my heart. But I wish I had given that song more time. It got released before it was ready. If that makes sense. Like, for me as an artist, it wasn't ready.
Yeah.
You know, like, I was like, when I heard it, I was like, no, I was supposed to do another session. I was supposed to be going back to do something else.
That's happened a lot to you.
Yeah, and that's all the things that I was kind of getting upset about. I was so upset when I heard
they
that.
will release songs without your consent?
When you get contracted by certain productions, you know, you obviously have the say in everything. Like, at the end of the day, it's still your song, you know? It's still your song. Like, you can sing the song anytime you go perform. It's your song. But there's some things that you have to, like, be finalized with before you release that song. The next thing I know, the song is out. And people are loving it, sending me the song. And I was like, what?
Wait, what?
That was the draft that I was working on still.
And people loved it.
Yeah.
So now imagine if like that's messed up
like
though.
Sandro, for instance, Keila wasn't even supposed to be Keila. Keila was like one of those songs that I still did. I'm like, shout out to Sandro.
I actually don't know that song.
Shout out to Sandro because Sandro Correa, he's still doing his thing in this career of music, and he just has a new song.
Dropped a great song,
With Keila, they at that point the guys already kind of had a trust in me as far as like what I could and could not do, and they just trusted me. Literally, they were just like, just go in there and listen to this song. I was like, what? What am I listening to? I'm putting your headset on.
You got right into it.
And like, they were like, that's it. I was like, what?
That's what? What did I do?
What?
You getting surprised.
What did I do?
I think what was their
Claudia
favorite
was like,
word?
Juceila, this is it. We don't have to do any more. And I was like, what?
I just want to go a little deeper into Mas Mulher.
Okay.
Your favorite songs of that album, because I feel that album was really underrated. You had Mas Mulher on there. You had the song with Beto Diaz, which Nunca. You had the song for your mom. You had a bunch of records, but you only really shot one video for that album. Do you feel that the album had more potential?
Oh yeah, for sure. That album was curated, let me say that. It was really curated. It wasn't even written, it was curated. Because after that success of Solidão, I didn't want to do another Solidão. I wanted to be more mature. And I think that album was that. If I had to like do it again, the only thing I would do different would be promote the hell out of that album, because I didn't. I really didn't. People were like, wait, what? You have another album? I was like, yeah, I do. But then people like hear these songs and they're like, I love these songs. And I'm like, I'm glad, because I love these songs too. So I think it's a more mature album, but it still shows me as an artist. Like the way I write, the way I tell my melody, the way I tell my story through just the way I create, you know? So I think that that's a curated album.
So how do you describe your style of music?
I think I really like to connect with the words. Like, I want to be able to relate to them. Like, if something feels like I cannot connect to it, I think, like I said earlier, I think it's gonna showcase, like, if I'm performing it. You can fake it till you make it for sure, but I always want to connect to a song. I think I don't like to put myself in a box. Like, I want to sing song. I want to sing. Yeah. Like, I just want to sing beautiful music and connect and really, and if that song can be heard in 10 years from that moment and really still feel that connection, I think I've done my job.
How can you balance between being an artist and being a mom at the same time?
So at the time when I first came out, I wasn't a mom, so that was easier.
Yeah, exactly.
But it came with its own challenge too. Because being young, you have a lot of different challenges. Now, as a mom, I think I have a different eyesight of what I want. I don't want to do everything. I don't want to do it all. I want to do quality things, like really, really high quality things for my kids. I want to be able to show them, like, you can do anything you want as long as you really do really good at it. Like, you don't have to do everything. You don't have to be good at anything or everything that everybody expects you to be good at. Mm-hmm. But if that's what the focus is, be really good at it. Everything is different when you become a mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you are not just thinking for yourself anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, now you're like, how can I leave a legacy for my kids? Like, how can I make my kids proud even when I'm not here? Mm-hmm. Like, I know this is going to get me emotional because when I first said it out loud one time, I really got so emotional about it, guys. So please don't cry, okay? I told Adiru, like,
I'm gonna cry.
When I pass away, I feel so honored and blessed that my kids can still listen to my voice. I think that's the challenging thing, is that you as a parent, you know one day you're not going to be here, mm-hmm. but you want to leave good things for your kids to be proud of even when you're not.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. At this point in my life, I mean, I'm not saying this to be like, oh, I'm a big superstar. It's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I have to
be a big superstar, girl. What are you talking about?
But I have to be very, very picky about what I do because I have to work that around my kids' life. And if it's something that doesn't fit my kids' life, I'm not doing it.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want nothing to affect the fact that I'm still a mom. But I still want to go out there and be a boss and be this amazing singer that you guys all love. I want to be able to be this amazing woman that, you know, maybe some other woman can look up to and say, she has 3 kids and she can do that and she did that. Oh my gosh, I could do that. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying that I'm somebody's image of what you should be doing, because by all means, nobody's perfect. But I just strive to do the best that is for my kids and my family.
Give me your favorite performance that you can remember.
Oh, see, that's what I was gonna ask.
You know, I have to say, I've done a lot of great performance, but there was Santo Town. It was a festival that I did there na primeira vez que Santa canta na. Oh my gosh, Escorrelet. And it was amazing. The people didn't take me only as Juceila that was born in Porto Novo. They really took me as an artist. Like, this is our artist. That was a moment. Great. And then Fogo too, like, I don't know, this fire, like, they're so genuinely, like, kind and like, they love music too.
I'm sorry, they're your people.
They're my people, yeah. So I love that. Like, they embrace me. Like, I cannot walk like one single street without someone wanting a hug or wanting, like, it's beautiful, and I love it. I love, oh my God, I love those people.
Yeah. You also work with a lot of artists either on or off stage. So either in the studio or on stage. What any favorite memories that you have from that?
Yeah, actually, from on stage. So one of my favorite, because as a little girl, I used to look up to this person, Gilles, when he called me specifically asking for me to perform with him. Mm-hmm. That was a big moment for me. Yeah. I was like, I know you know me, but how do you know me? Like, like, what do you know?
Gilles always talks to you like he knows you. Like, yo, what's up?
So for him to ask me to sing, and then when we got to, like, do the rehearsal, he, you know, to be able to let the other artist guide you in the way that he wants you to sing, and for him to just hear me, and he was like, oh, you got it, you're good. And then one of the things that people always ask me, like, they've asked me this a lot, oh, did you guys rehearse the show, like the actual moment on stage? one thing about me, when I rehearse, I only rehearse vocally. You'll never see me put a show on like, I guess on
rehearsal,
So it's more of like a freestyle.
Yeah. So I'm never like me until I'm on stage, like that moment. So when I got on stage to do that show with Gilles, and it was just organically vibing. Like we hadn't tried out, we hadn't practiced this. There was no run to this. Like it was just a vibe in a moment, and that's when you understand like that. People just sometimes either have it together or they don't have it, you know. And I was nervous as hell because it was the first time in a very long time that I was coming back to perform. And after I had my first child, I started having panic attacks.
Yeah.
And then I remember one time before a show, oh my god, like,
anxiety.
Yes, I had never felt that way before. I mean, I had never been someone that complained about anxiety like that. Like I've had like moments where you know you really have a lot going on and you get a little, but this particular type of like anxiety was different. Like guys, like to the point that I blanked out. I couldn't remember my own lyrics. Like I was literally hyperventilating, and I was like, I can't. Like I was so crazily like going out of it that I was like, oh my gosh, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't. I literally was like about to walk out. I can't do it. And then I don't know what it was. I got on stage. I calmed down.
And then boom.
And I did an amazing show. But after that particular night, I had to tell myself, like, if I'm going to do this, I really have to check in on that. Like, I have to check that. Like, why am I doing that? And then I realized that my vocals was also being affected after I had a baby. So I had to start taking vocal lessons, which I did.
Wow.
That was fun. Yeah, I had to take vocal lessons. Okay, so then it starts controlling that anxiety a little bit. When
even the way you breathe, the way you breathe.
Yeah, when you start
your field, like
because your anxiety comes sometimes from like right the pit of your stomach. So when you learn to control that, and it does help. It did help. It helped me so much because I was really having like a moment with that.
So is there any like new artist that you like? No, okay, not that you want to collab, but that they think they're doing a nice job.
I give all these new artists kudos because they're out and exposed. we could do so many wrongs and nobody could see it after the show. But now, like, if you mess up a show, they're seeing that over and over every week. Oh my God, like, I don't know how they're doing it. But like me, I'm like, you guys are brave. So they have to be on all the time. I hate saying this because I think I'm gonna sound so wrong for saying this. I don't always listen to music at home. Like, I really don't. And I don't know why. Like, I'm always shutting it off, like, to do what I have to do. But when I do listen to it, I listen to, like, I love the fact that, like, Nina is doing her thing, Jocelyn, that's another girl that I, like, you collab with. That would be someone I would love to collab with, not only because we're both from Porto Novo, but I love her vocals. I really do.
Yeah,
and I think
amazing.
that I would write some good stuff for both of us. We would collab together, but, and then, like, I mean, the guys are doing it. Like, they've always been doing it. I always find that when the guys do something challenging, I'm always like, damn, I wish that was me doing that. Like, I'm like, why didn't I do that song that Georgie did? And then I'm like, Claudia, why didn't you give me that song? Like, or why didn't you write that like that? But then he's like, Juceila, really?
Yeah. It's different,
I'm happy that you do that.
I do. I'm like, Claudia, why didn't you give me that song that person just, that's a bomb song. Like, you'll be like, girl, you got your bomb songs. I'm like, oh my God.
You also talked about the song
911.
And it's about domestic violence, right? Yeah. And was that song ever using for an event?
No.
Ever?
You know what's so crazy? Because I labeled it 911, but 911 is only in America. We know what 911 means. So in Cape Verde, they don't even know what that means.
Yeah, that's true.
No, especially back in the days.
Yeah, I had no idea. And I wanted, like, te criar ali, sabe, ali, fazer de que maneira que coisas, só tínhamos alguém que sabe, passar uns fase.
So it is based.
It was based on real events. Yeah. Not that particular song is not my particular eventful piece of my life, but like I had people in my life that was going through.
Yeah, that's what she said. She always writes stuff that's
really
real.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that particular song specifically, the few people that I remember talking to about stuff like that at the time, they couldn't tell their story. But
You're the
I asked
messenger.
them, I was able to ask them, I'm writing this song, do you think I can label that? Like, not say your name or anything, but can I proceed into this as the story you tell me?
Get inspired, even though if it's
and
on the wrong
'cause
way.
I was already writing something,
Yeah.
but it did inspire that whole scenario because, you know, and there was a time that I was in Cape Verde before I wrote that before I started that album, that I witnessed something that I was very ashamed of. That I was like, that should not be happening. And that was kind of another reason why I wrote that song.
Okay. Juceila Cardoso's top 5 CD artists of all time.
Oh my gosh.
Let's
really?
go.
Can we guess?
No, we didn't.
Let's do a game. Let's guess.
I mean, okay, to be honest with you, one of my main person that I love so much, and I will always love this woman's voice is
Mayra.
Medina.
No, I thought it was mine.
Medina
Oh,
will
yeah.
always have that. Like, do you guys understand the vocal on that
No,
woman?
I do understand. I do
I do.
agree with you. 100%.
Like, that woman can sing. Okay, she can sing no wrong. Let me just say that. So Dina Medina, Suzanne. I mean, I can't. Dina Medina and Suzanne at the time was like back to back, but like the way Suzanne sang, I think I liked specifically like the way she told stories, like the way she wrote things, and I come to find out that it was with Beto Diaz in later on, and I guess that kind of makes sense because I love the way Beto Diaz writes. Like I love it. So with Dina, I just love the rawness of her voice. Like her vocals was amazing. So I like that. And then Cesaria Evra, how can you not like love that woman? Her story, like her emotions through those music, and Ido Lobo.
Yes.
Like, come on, like those are father and mother of
I know.
our culture. I would like to think. I have to say,
there,
like,
you know.
I'm not like a rapper like person per se, but I do have to say that JJ like
Just
has
a man.
been someone I've always admired. Like from
Wow.
the
Yeah.
JJ,
Just
I
a
used
man.
to listen to his
Wow.
music all the time, and when Stacy was in it, like
Yo,
oh my God,
Stacy's
that
there.
duo needs to
Yeah, I
come
know.
back. Like I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know
Everybody
what
says that.
happened, but JJ, like if I have to go back like in time to think about the people that I really listened, that was it at the time.
Yeah, JJ is a beast.
No, JJ is a beast.
Oh,
Sure,
that's
gotcha.
another person too that I've never met, Stacy, and I like yo when she came out with "On Me, Te On Me" or "Ser On Me," something like that.
I don't remember.
That time, that we couldn't talk about stuff like that at the time, but she did
I know.
it. Like "Ser On Me, Bufla, se verdade." Você lembra desse song?
Oh,
I don't remember the lyrics.
Yeah. I know that song.
Yeah, of course you
Se
know.
é verdade que vou
Stacy.
contar,
You know
assim,
the
right?
audio, no.
Yeah,
I know
so
that
one
song.
thing about like when I used to be like at my dad, because I didn't used to go anywhere. So my dad, you know, doing his salon, I used to stay home, and I would just. This is when I would listen to music, and it's probably why I don't listen to music right now. But I listened to music for so long because that was my it thing. Like that was it. I would feature Luz no Salão, pretend that I was on stage. Like the whole Quatro album, the whole Tô Sem Medo, like oh my gosh, like Lura, the first album de Lura. Not the one that she made big, the very first like Portuguese one that she did.
Yeah.
She had a very one before.
I forgot the name. Yeah, that's old.
I used to sit there and
That's
listen
old.
to the song. Like I used to know every lyric. Now I don't know a lot of lyrics.
That's crazy. You were one of many artists that was here before social media came, before views and likes were important and all that freaking fake crap. What do you think that impact had in the game, and what do you miss about the old days
Great
about that?
question.
I think it makes so the impact that it has made is that it's opened the world to your art. That you can run away from that. I mean, if you are an artist, if you're someone that's doing anything remotely to promote yourself, you are winning if you're doing it through Instagram, social media, and all that stuff. Well, the other thing that it has done is that I think it has gotten like so superficial in a way that like everybody has to look the same, or like everybody has to do the same thing that person is doing in order to get those views.
Yeah.
So I think it just made everybody kind of like not be
Polite.
not be as authentic. Like you still are in your own way, but it's still I feel like we're somehow like, for instance, I own a business, so I'm like, oh, if that person is doing hair stuff on this business page, I'm gonna do that too. So I'm saying that too because I do it myself. So you know, it's just not like we're not original. We're all doing what everybody else is doing. You know, so
I agree with that, 100%. Awards. Sadly, you've never won one, but I don't really think that it's your fault because it started getting popular kind of after your albums dropped. Because I don't believe that Solidan would have not won a freaking award, right? So, what do you feel about that? Do you like that recognition? Is it something that you'll chase whenever you're making music?
No, like I said earlier, I never go out there thinking I'm gonna write a song to be this thing, this, that, this and that. Mm-hmm. I really wanna truly just write and sing, and if it feels right for you and if it gets that recognition, I'm proud and honored, but I'm not ever just gonna sing something to get me a recognition. Like I want it to be mellow and I want it to be authentic, I want it to be organic.
Yep.
I want it to feel natural in all the aspect of however that music touches you.
Okay.
So how is it working with Millie?
That's a good question.
Singer.
So Adiri, he really is amazing writing songs too. Like he really writes some good stuff. And when I was in my music funk I was really not feeling it, he would be playing these things and I'd be like, damn, that sounds really good. Like, whoa, that sounds really good. When he let me listen to it and I started to sing it, he was like, would you do it? I was like,
yeah.
I was like, what do I have to do? Because
that's one song that I see you as a different Juceila.
Yeah. And I think that at that time I needed that to kind of get myself out of that funk. And I was I really, before pre-COVID, I probably would have done two albums by now.
Yeah.
Because I was on a roll. We did we did 7 songs in a period of
remember.
a month.
Yeah. That was quick.
Because what we would do is I would write the songs and then he would pick up a little, the notes and we would record it and we would send it to Cloudy with the notes. So Cloudy was literally boom, 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 come and record.
Yeah.
That was it. I think I would have finished literally 2 albums in a period of 6 months.
For people that don't know, and people need to stop asking me this about Juceila. All right? Juceila is a singer, yes. Songwriter, great songwriter. But her number one passion in the world is beauty, cosmetology. That's her number. So whenever you guys ask me, why is she doing all this makeup? So I'm like, that is what she started with. That is basically what she loves to do. So stop asking me that question. Anyways, your first love, beauty. You finally got to a point where you got your own shop. Open JCSTUDIO.
Yay!
Yeah.
Shout out.
How does that feel?
Sometimes it still feels unreal.
Yeah.
It's kind of when I think about my music, I still can't believe I did those things, The salon has been a dream of mine since I can remember. So for those of you guys that don't know that, music is not my first passion or first love. I just so happened to fall into it, but beauty's always been my first real passion, and that's why I always go back to it, because it was always a security. It was always safe for me, and I knew I could make a living and provide with that. Music is about a little bit of off and on balance, so you have these great years and then maybe 1 year, 2 years you're off of it. But with beauty, I always came back to beauty. I always find myself in some kind of therapy session with beauty. So it feels amazing. I'm so glad that I'm able to give a little piece of my heart, I guess, to every single person that walks in there. And
That's true.
I love,
prove it.
Yeah, you've been there,
Yes.
I like this.
Even today.
Sponsored by JCSTUDIO.
Okay, let me move.
We
gotta look over there.
Sponsorship by JCSTUDIO.
Right there.
Don't worry, I'll zoom into it.
There you go.
You've been doing hair for a long time. When did you start? Because I know we were very young.
Honestly, I started in Cape Verde.
Oh, okay.
So I have an aunt that lives in Portugal. She used to do everybody in Porto Novo, na Bairro. So Bairro is little, it's a long street. It's a really long strip. And tudo alguém tava fazer cabelo, tá pôr rolo, não assim tava. I would be so admiring it. I think I still do that till this day. Não assim tanto diabo com carinha tô diabo, mas que tá fazer que coisa how can I fazer que coisa? So I think I have to thank her actually. It's because of her that I fell in love with that.
Say her name.
Dudush.
Dudu Chef.
Oh, yeah, I met her.
Na Portugal, because of her. So ele que era estilista na família at the time.
Okay.
So, quando eu sentava a fazer aqueles cabelo, me gonta sentava lá todo dia, te apanhei boniquinha, te aprendeva a fazer trança naqueles coisa de fox, you know, the little match? The match
Yeah.
sticks.
Oh, for real?
Fica te apanhava aquele tu pega aquele match, pega aquele coisa, tu fica todo de mão que não fazer aquele trança. Like,
Wow.
oh my God. So that's how I learned how to braid.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so,
That is so
obrigada, Tito Ducha,
interesting.
para inspirar-me a ser quick milhões de cabelo.
Starting it.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I truly believe, and one of the reasons why I don't make my salon a barbershop is because I always felt like women didn't have, in the Capeverdean community, let me say that, they didn't have that. And I think a lot of women are trying to elevate themselves in all level of aspect of their life, whether it's mentally, physically, beauty-wise, and they want that spot. They want something like that. So I'm very big on the service that I offer there, and I want to make every woman feel welcome and special and unique.
You do it already.
And thank you. And really, like, I love it. Like, I know what it does for me when I wake up and I'm not having a good day for whatever the reason, and I put myself together. I mean, I'm not saying go and put a full face on. That's not what I'm saying. But like, if you can stick your hair back and put a lip gloss on and it makes you feel better, listen, you're already winning, you know? But to have that spot that you can come in and really feel welcome and empowered, and I want to talk to you. I want to know about your day, what your kids doing, how you guys doing, and to me, that's always been a dream. Like, I've always I didn't want just a typical what was out there already. And I'm okay with being different in my own way and getting my own things my way. And I think everybody's starting to notice. So
That's it.
Can you tell our people's the address?
yeah, so if you guys, if you're looking for anything hair-wise, makeup-wise, we are more than welcome to take you in. Come and visit me at 7 Westgate Drive in Brockton for any and all your beauty needs, and it will be a pleasure to get to know you.
We love having you here. It's like for me, everything that I'm going to say to you, every compliment I'm going to give you, people are going to be like, okay, whatever. But it is great to know you and to know you as an artist, to know you as a woman, just the power of a woman that you are, and also to know you as a mom and as a wife. It's awesome to see that transition. And the one thing that's consistent about you is that you are always the quality. You always maintain a certain quality in everything that you do. Be it music, be it beauty, be it personal. Everything else. Everything else you do great. And I hope people know that. And I hope people also understand your passion. It's sometimes you don't want to do something because it's just not below you, or not that you're bigger than anybody, but it's a certain quality that you want to maintain. And I think it's very important that you do so. Thank you so much for watching Praçazul again, guys. It's always fun to have a great interview. I want to thank our guest, Juceila Cardoso. I will see you guys on the next episode of Praçazul. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys.